Human beings and mankind has always pondered over the creations of the heavens and the earth, and the Creator. And yet there are those who would deny that the universe began with a creator or creators. Some would rather accept the belief that a being called God made it in just 6 days. And others would accept the idea that the universe and all the life forms in it came about by an accident collision of atoms. Now, those of you who are born intelligent by nature knows that there is consistent order in the universe, and therefore it is impossible for a chain of events to have occurred over and over and over again by accident. Just look at the harmony of the movement of the planets in our solar system. Look at the intricate relationships that animals and plants share with one another. This phenomenon could not have occurred by accidents. Accidents are not the rule in the universe. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. I'm fearless. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in. We must all realize that, like everything else, life began with one thing in mind. But there had to be a mind or minds, and if there is one mind, it had to have a beginning. And with this thought, things became by giving birth to itself, in which we are all a part of. The origin of life rests within the all, which is substantial reality. Substantial reality simply means beneath all outward manifestation is the essential substance of what a thing is made from, which is real. With that having been said, it is practical to reason that nothing in creation came about by chance, for chance is but a word for unseen causes. And in every cause, there is an effect, and in every effect, there is a cause. With this having been said, everything was according to plan and design, and every plan has an engineer. Ignorant people, no matter what kind of degree they may have obtained, cannot acknowledge this actual fact. They would rather look for the answers elsewhere, and in their ignorance keep fabricating more and more theories. This right knowledge, however, will forever evade them if they continue to deny the existence of Pa Nitiru, the Ethereans who created it. This information is superior to anything else, and thus the closest you would ever get to truly knowing what occurred before creation. So, I don't merely just want you to hear me, I implore that you listen to learn, for you are being exposed to divine and sacred information that is not to be misused or wasted. Since we are talking about creation, the root word is create. A large majority of the population sees creation as causing something to come into existence that did not exist before, and usually it's thought to occur instantly. But in truth, creation is something that happens over a period of time. The word create etymologically means to grow, and growth occurs over time, and it has to have one point to start from. This is a very important detail for the mental state of the listener, because without this fact, you will go on being caught in faith and belief that some God simply decided to create the solar system at the snap of a finger, and still you won't be able to say where this God came from or who created and gave birth to him. Now, there are some things that are beyond your level of comprehension because of your time and density level at this particular point. Being so young, humans are reluctant to conceive the notion of beings on higher vibrational levels of existence more advanced than themselves. So, it becomes necessary to take you on a journey of time back to the past before your form of creation. I'm talking about primary creation. You see, before the lightest atom, energies existed as a form of energy existing in the form of gases. 9 levels of them from quarks, referred to as subatomic particles, which is before weight, and therefore registering as nothingness, yet existing being lighter than the first form of existence called hydrogen. This very revelation is confirmation of the existence of a realm that is pre-physical, that we ancients refer to as the etheric realm. Now, primary creation did not occur by chance. It was performed by non-ether beings, which are electromagnetic currents from other galaxies who come as whole light beings you call spiritual from the stars. And as they begin to slow up their energy's mood of vibration, they are able to personify themselves as flesh and blood beings, becoming humans from atoms to Adam. At the spark where this event takes place for transformation is like sounds that a dog can perceive, yet humans cannot hear. This again is confirmation of states of existence that are beyond human comprehension. To better understand this, let's dive in a little deeper. Now, being composed of electromagnetic energy, we can conclude that the Ethereans personified by acoustic phonons, which is sound that has magnetic properties, and photons, which is light, which has electric properties. We are now talking about wavelength, and since light and sound are defined by wavelength, we can conclude that light coming through a prism like Earth's atmosphere refracts it into a wavelength of colors we see as red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Now, since sound and light shares the fundamental nature of vibration, we can conclude that there is a range of sound frequencies that corresponds to light. And since the 7 colors mentioned are only a small portion of the entire color spectrum, it stands to reason that when you see full spectrum light in its physical state, it would naturally manifest as blackness. That means that all light and all colors combined is blackness. And get this, the manifestation of the solid form of light is melanin. Thus, these Ethereans manifested from the great circle and throne of wisdom called the etheric realm to this meager place as melaninites. That is, dark-skinned people with woolly hair. You follow? I hope I didn't lose you. Since energy and matter cannot be destroyed, only change in its appearance, it stands to reason that these Ethereans personified as Africans, who are the oldest race on this planet. They are our primordial ancestors and thus the descendants of the black race world over, meaning they descended or came down from the stars to us, making us star people as well. Because of much race mixing, blacks have evolved into many diversities, having 9 different characteristics. That is, skin hue, hair texture, and facial structures may be different today, but nevertheless, the same race. Since the Ethereans exist in the etheric realm, we can conclude that they predate creation, just as darkness predates light and ether predates atoms. They are the great architects of the universe that formulated the black print of creation and thus are the minds that put creative energy in motion. In fact, they are the magnetic attraction that keeps the universe in order. They grew the universe by simply utilizing the force that yield energy, versing energy into one, the universe. In the etheric realm, in their etheric form, they created all things which became what they were to become known as before they existed, or what they would exist as. Now, according to what is recorded by modern scientists and religious men, this small side of the universe where quarks became atoms began as a result of an explosion they call the Big Bang, which they don't really know, for the one they refer to actually occurred 13 billion years ago. However, the original Big Bang occurred 76 trillion years ago. What many don't know is this event of Big Bangs still happen to this very day. It is the result of the expanding, then collapsing of a universe, which caused the explosion of positive and negative forces such as matter and antimatter that collides into each other to bring about alternate things. Now, it should be known that these bangs did not occur by chance. It is a master plan with countless experiments done by who? An Etherian that dwells on the outside of this time zone, who is a part of all. Immediately after the original explosion, it gave way to this physical half where things are calculated by some known as matter, from hydrogen to Einsteinium, the first 99 natural element. All of this makes up the physical realm of matter of the black universe, consisting chiefly of strong radiation. And from this is where they get the word ray, as in sun rays, which was taken from Re, the sun god. The darkness is the true black existence in which all light and chaos was born. This radiation formed a rapidly expanding sphere in the darkness called the primordial fireball, you now know as the sun. After thousands of years, most of the fireball changed into matter that consisted chiefly of hydrogen and small amounts of helium. Today, Faint radio waves are all that remains of the original fireball, whose tone vibrates as Om. In fact, before the sun became a ball of gas containing hydrogen and helium, it was an active planet also called Om, containing all of the planets, moons, and satellites which makes up this solar system, compacted into a small space the ancients called a black dot that exploded. And like a fireball, the matter continued to move away from the point of the explosion. In time, the matter broke apart in huge clumps. The clumps eventually became galaxies. Small clumps within the galaxies then formed stars, and one clump became a group of planets we now know as our solar system. Because of this, the galaxies are still moving away from one another. And as strange as this may sound, they will one day come back together again. When this happens, all the material in the universe will explode again and become a new universe resembling the present one. It's simply a recycling of the universe, something your scientists do not know nothing about. So, why is it so hard for others to comprehend creation? Well, you must realize that in this physical realm in which we dwell, the highest of intelligence, or things they tell each agent, or rather intel agent, is only of the physical realm. And so, humans are limited to person, places, and things. We have been trying to teach this for some time now, but it has been taking a long time for people to catch on. You see, person, places, and things are three distinct 90-degree angles, which is symbolic of 270 degrees of physical knowledge. The average human, however, can see no further than 360 degrees of physical knowledge they see as completion, which is really half of reality, for you are not merely just a physical being. Nevertheless, 360 is as far as they go, but not as far as they can go, for they are also spiritual. Let's take this time and discuss the expansion history of the universe. The expansion history of the universe also limits modern scientists' ability to understand what actually occurred in the past. And no telescope made by their hands will ever reveal the true history of the cosmos. This ancient teaching, only found in our sacred records, will fill in the gaps of what they can only postulate. Humans must realize that the universe is a creation, and the creation is always rooted in the existence of its creators, who are the Ethereans. The etheric realm in which they reside is the unseen realm of existence, and can only be created in illusion to humans. Thus, the Ethereans exist as illusions to them, for they began with 720 degrees of knowledge. That is, 360 degrees of knowledge of the physical realm, as well as 360 degrees of knowledge of the etheric or spiritual realm. The wise know, without knowledge of both realms, one will remain ignorant of creation that began in the etheric realm. In the etheric realm, things are what they are. In this physical realm, however, things appear other than what they actually are, such as the foundation for faith and belief, the real illusion. In the etheric realm, the Ethereans dealt with the counterpart of that in which you see in the physical realm. For instance, they start from ether 1 on back through 99 ether, making the energies you know as the 99 natural current elements in reverse and of a different nature. Humans don't know this because they were not taught this, and because they reside on the third density level, or the third dimension, with no knowledge of the higher realms, they cannot conceive it to even see it with their ordinary human eyes. As long as they choose to ignore these actual facts and only vibrate on the physical realm, neglecting the etheric, they will continue to remain in ignorance of the higher realms of existence. Let me leave you with this statement. The Ethereans who created the boundless universe are under no obligation to make sense to you. And yet, we still do. I'm Kef Ray, and this is Back to the Basic. Like, share, and subscribe. Facts we stated. You wanna know something? Go back to basics. Most saw trapping was called the Matrix. The world frivolized, yet it's hard to face it.